Clash Royale.
Allow them to get in. All right, let's take a look at these players, man. Zoun, he's back. He played one game this season, was most famous for playing actually in big extended series from SKT. He had a really good record despite his low amount of games of playing postseason, not as much in the regular matches. I vote for him here just simply because I trust SKT's judgment to send him out on a day like this, and it's a PvP. He must have a really good strategy prepared.
Yeah, you and Taster in tandem once again, just predicting the same people. We'll see if you guys are correct. It is the minority vote, 2 to 5 here. Well, let's see how this is going to go down. It's going to be a fun PvP on Dusk Towers right now. Down here in the bottom left, in the orange, from SK Telecom T1, it is Zoun. Sending out a very early probe.
That's right, and his opponent in purple, it is Super, formerly known as Vampire, a much more experienced player, especially in team leagues. Played for MVP and was one of their regular players back in the GSTL. Now this scout is very unfortunate here for Super. This is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of timing slash cheese slash, crazy opening that can get you a lead. Looks like it's just going to be for a gas steal here. The second probe will see this, and he needs to react. He needs to block both assimilators, and he doesn't. Oh, so late.
Oh,
he still blocks it, though. That was close.
Wow.
That was
perfect
really
timing,
close.
actually, on the block. So Zoun trying to go for this. Super putting his buildings right at the front. He does scout it, even sending out that second probe to do a bit of scouting and put down the gateway. And he's going to get a slight advantage here. Zoun missing a bit of mining time. Let's see how Super wants to follow this up. He's sending another probe into a very suspicious location here.
Yep, and because the first probe was not scouted by Zoun, as far as I could tell, he's not going to know that there's that second probe out there. This first one is still going to look really normal. He saw that one leaving the base. He's going to deny the Nexus placement at the back of the base a little bit, as well Zoun is with his original aggressive assimilator probe. Even going to pylon block. This is pretty common on this map specifically. And we'll just back out with the probe. It's not a tight wall. So for Super, the big question is this going to just simply be a Stargate? It's the most likely choice, but it could be hidden tech as well.
And you know what? Zoun doesn't go back and scout the gas here. Would have been nice to, just make sure, just check one more time, kind of confirm how much gas mining is going on here for Super. But instead, he just has that pylon up, and it is going to be a Stargate coming in here as Zoun goes for his own Nexus in the back door.
Now, another interesting thing would be if he waits to see if this is a Zealot or not. I think that's what he's going to do, because if he sees this as a Zealot, it's like, in one way, it's not as, he lets it finish because he wants to kill the pylon, but it's kind of like, is this part of your build? Are you making this Zealot because of this? Because you could have also denied this pylon with an Adept and killed my probe, or are you saving gas, even only a little bit, just to get that faster Stargate? It's a little bit suspicious, and that's why that probe stayed there that long. An Adept would have chased it away, but he knows it's a Zealot. So guess what? He immediately starts checking for proxy Stargates all over the map. He's like, okay, that Zealot could be for the pylon, but it's still a little bit weird. And here comes that Oracle.
That he's pumping out Stalkers as well. He's going to keep that Mothership core nearby. Currently, it's at the front of his base, but he has a Stalker here patrolling as well. He scouts to the left side, and he actually blocks the other side, which I like a lot. He's trying to cover all of his bases. And here comes that Oracle.
He's going to scout it with a Mothership core. Oh, no, he changed the rally.
Needs to have that Mothership core back at home, though.
Yeah, that's kind of an issue. He's getting his own Stargates a little bit late. I thought he was sending this on the correct trajectory, but it's just simply not. It's a little bit too far north. He has 2 Stalkers out, but this is still going to do a lot of damage. 1 Stalker patrolling out of position.
Not in position. This is a bare, naked mineral line here, and here comes that Oracle.
Here come the Stalkers, but he's still losing a lot here. Cancel on a Robo, by the way, it looks like.
Not the cleanest Oracle Micro we've ever seen. Picks up 5 probes, a lot of them in the yellow there. Does get away with that Oracle, which is very important, and also scouts the Stargate here. Still commits to the second Oracle, though. I think he wants to come for another pass by at that main.
Yeah, he's going to just have to sack them. Once the Phoenix comes out, he's not going to get much. This is looking for counter damage. Meanwhile, and don't forget that Zoun did have a faster second Nexus. So, you know, he lost a little bit of probes. He's not as behind in workers as he would be, though, because he has double worker production. He also decided to continue using Chrono Boost on his Nexi rather than switching it to the Stargate.
And look at this. I mean, he must have not really been looking at that Stargate. He's going to lose both of these Oracles. They should have gone home. And now he's going to be behind on Phoenix production. Is he going to commit to this?
You know, I don't even know who's going to get the first shot, but it's going to be really important.
Oh, Super actually does.
Super does. That's kind of weird, I guess, because you're kind of invulnerable during spawn. But here comes the second Phoenix. He barely wins the fight. Maybe even been an intentional bait there. And now he controls the air, and Super is in some serious trouble. He's going to move across the map for some pressure to try to catch up in this game. I like this a lot. The Phoenixes, one of them already very low, but the Mothership Core basically will deny this. Oh, and he loses the Stalker, too.
Oh, he's going to lose the second Stalker as well.
I mean, this is going to catch this Stalker, too. This is almost game-ending damage here.
It looks like it. I mean, this is unbelievable. Everything going wrong here for Super.
I mean,
Zoun really turning it on.
I know a lot of people don't recognize Zoun because he doesn't play in GSL or Star League, and SKT doesn't field him very often because they have an all-star lineup of top-tier pro gamers. But he's on SKT for a reason, and this is another reminder that this is a team of elite players, and they had a bad round 3, but they're still very, very strong. And this is just like their B team are coming in and doing work.
Yeah, and I also have to say, I mean, that's all very true. Super, though, not having the cleanest game I've ever seen. Lots of mistakes across the board. Definitely should have gone home with the Oracles. Shouldn't have committed to the Phoenix when he was behind. Losing his Stalkers there with a bit of a mismicro. I think what's happening is he sees the game kind of falling apart before his eyes, and then just one bad thing happens after the next, and it's kind of just like he can't control it, and now he's kind of in an awkward spot where he has to play from behind.
When I saw the Twilight Council going up, I was getting really a little tingle of maybe we're going to see some win behind Dark Shrine type play from Super, because it was Stargate play. Zoun also canceled his Robo earlier, so it might have been able to get value. Not the case anymore, but he's going for Blink instead. And it looks like he wants to try to, with this third base, perhaps overwhelm Zoun's third with a lot of Blink Stalkers. But Zoun already has kind of expected this and is going to that Immortal tech. With good micro, should be able to save these Phoenixes after getting a few probe kills. And I mean, Super has the slightly faster third base, but the tech advantage goes to Zoun. I mean, he's going to have more Immortals. He's going to have them first. He's going to have this high ground. We talk about on Dust Towers how holding the third base in PvT is really, really easy. But as you go into this kind of longer mid game in PvP, the same kind of is true. You have the high ground, you have the pylon wall, that arc, and it's tough for Super to actually attack with this Blink. And if he's getting Blink here just to help deal with these Phoenixes, well, he's already overcommitted because there's only 3 and there's never going to be any more.
I mean, that was just a great read by Zoun as well, where he's like, you know, I already won the Phoenix War. I can do a bit of damage with 3, but I need to switch techs very, very soon. He also canceled the Robo. I don't know if you mentioned this. He canceled the Robo in front of Super, and then he just like remade it as soon as possible. It's kind of interesting.
It's almost like he wanted to bait the Dark Shrine I was talking about earlier. I mean, it's going to save him money. It was definitely a strange cancel, though.
Ooh.
Okay, this is
going to make a Dark Shrine of his own, I suppose.
Yeah, potentially here. Especially because that probe is staying very likely. Oh, man. It's always great when you find an Observer when you're the Phoenix player. You just hunt that down.
Just really having that range on the detection.
5 more gates coming up here for Super. This doesn't necessarily indicate he's going to attack, although with the movement I just saw on the minimap, I'm starting to get that feeling. Remember, Hero has basically said, and almost every programmer has followed suit with this, that the Stalker builds, the Stalker compositions are things of the past. That's one of these Phoenixes will get picked off, looks like. Stalker builds are things of the past, and Adepts and Glaives are how PvP is supposed to work, and that's what Zoun is doing here. Super looking for, you know, Archons here, perhaps even trying to go for a Storm Drop. This is going to be a tech that surprises him. Wow.
I mean, I guess that has to be Disruptors, right? But he hides the Bay. You know, of course, Super can send in hallucinations over and over into the main. Maybe he just wants to hide that for quite a while, as long as possible. Kind of an interesting little touch.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder how many more tricks Zoun really has up his sleeve here. That is not going to be an engage he can have. Even the Adepts chasing him away, granting that vision. Double Forge here for Super. And PvP is a matchup where it's hard to kill your opponent, even if you have a lead in comp.
That one observer gets away.
This is going to be Disruptor Tech, and even a drop. Oh, we did just confirm the myth that sentries don't do damage.
Yeah, they actually just tickle you, which doesn't do damage, of course.
I wouldn't even mind to see with the lead that Zoun has, Warp Prism speed, if he's going to be committing to drops with these, because he has that Bay out there. Somewhat risky if it gets caught. Then he'll have lost that money temporarily, but looks like he's just going to go with a slow Prism for now versus Blink. So this is my concern is, I mean, that's a lot of money right in that Prism versus Blink. A little bit scary. He remade a few Phoenixes, and he's going to try to get some advanced scouting and some advanced warning if there's anything to spot for this. You can see it to the bottom right of the minimap. He's like, all right, does he have any hidden pylons to spot a Prism? Does he have any Stalkers out there?
Yeah, it's like the first flyby, you know, to make sure everything's clean and clear. And we do see this Warp Prism going on an interesting angle, but Zoun very well prepared. I love when players do this, just littering the left side of the map with pylons, spotting for any kind of Warp Prism play. And he does scout that out there, so
Valdez, this starts to feel like this was never intended to be a drop at all. He wants to play Brood War. He wants to protect those like they're Reavers with this Prism. And with the increased pickup, you can definitely make that work. So it looks like the Phoenixes were just looking for a counter drop because he wants to move out. So what I said earlier is not true. He was just simply trying to make sure no Prisms are going to backstab him while he goes for this push. Now watch these Purification Novas. They're going to be oh so important. Here's the first one.
Oh, look at how much damage that just did. The blink at the last second, but a lot of the Zealots being picked off there. I'm not sure about fighting here, but he actually does push on through and get a decent concave.
Now we can just use that whole position micro we always talk about in this matchup. Here's the second one. There is a blink, but there's 4, actually now 6 of these Disruptors, and he just keeps firing his Novas one by one here, and he's going to start to get value.
Oh, drops that Immortal onto the Purification Nova. Nice micro there as well. Just continuously warping and stuff and picking up the important units in the back.
And this is just too much damage. He's up now 55 army supply or more, and it's just going to push through this wall, and that is going to be game here. Disruptor Tech, Super was not ready for it. And he just had so much more money anyways. He took that early lead, and now this game will end. He's got a massive amount of Glaved Adepts, 29 in total, in fact, right now. And not a single Disruptor dies. Okay, as I say, that one blows up, but it doesn't matter. And this is the end.
Really just clean play from Zoun. I like the little things he did in this game. Just a really, really nice game from this player from SK Telecom. Super GG's out, and we're going to be all tied up 1-1.
This is, you know, the reason why I voted for him is I expected small little things like this. This is the SK B-teamer coming in for the snipe build on the big Protoss map. He didn't even get his gas steal off, but he transitioned flawlessly. Scouted, after seeing that Zealots went and scouted the Stargate, was prepared for that as well. I mean, he didn't even see it, but he knew that it was coming, so he was ready. But I do agree with what you said earlier. Super made some mistakes. His Oracle control, if SOS was controlling it, probably would have gotten almost twice as many probes. And made some decisions like when he attacked up the ramp with the Stalkers, didn't pull them back quickly enough, lost 2 there. With Phoenixes out on the map.
It's so cute to see him come out and just have this giant smile on his face, because he doesn't get to play much, as you were saying, on this team of All-Stars. And then he goes over to his youngs, his older brothers, talks the classic about the game. He's like, yeah, how'd I do? And yeah, just really awesome to see that for that player we don't get to see all too much. Fortunately, this does not bode well for Afreeca, because that's a game, you know, Super has a lot more experience than this player in Zoun, and a lot of people were expecting him to take that win, including Afreeca, I assume. So they're gonna have to play now at tied up 1-1 going into this one, and you're on fire for predictions today, 2-2, man.
Not even surprised by it though. I mean, not saying I'm like the. I was the most. I actually was #1 in round 3 of predictions, but
by 1 vote, I just barely fell off there at the end.
Yeah, you were right with me, but I mean, I do think that most of these, well, all 2 of them. I know there's only been 2, but both of those votes there, I think a lot of people might think they're weird, but If you've been casting some of these players as long as I have, you know the maps and what they might occur, and it also seems a little bit gimmicky in some ways the way I vote, but there you go. I mean, this does not surprise me. We're going into a 1-1, and the next matchup is going to be Innovation versus Patience.
This is going to be a sick matchup. It's going to be on King Sejong Station, one of SKT's best maps here.